Lefty losers got trounced in elections all over Europe, and their salty tears were flowing like the Danube River. Bad news for Macron and his cronies. I'm getting flashbacks.
J'ai décidé de vous redonner le choix de l'économie. Je dissous donc la souveraineté.
In fact, Marine Le Pen got more than double Macron's vote. The French president got pummeled so bad he was forced to call parliamentary elections for the end of the month.
The rise of nationalists and demagogues is a danger for our nation, but also for Europe, for France's position in Europe and in the world.
The brown on the map is where people voted for Le Pen. She won every single department besides Paris. She might even now go on to have the largest delegation in the European Parliament, ahead of Germany's CDU. Shit libs across the continent be like. I literally moved country to avoid the right wing. Yeah, my heart goes out to you, love.
Hi guys, Ricky G here, wellness and beauty influencer. As a celebrity, I know all about stuff, like science and politics. So trust me when I tell you who you should vote for. If you don't vote the right way, that's like a hate crime, and it makes me sad and angry, and I'll leave the country, and you don't want that.
If you're celebrating the rise of the far right in Europe, I'd recommend acquainting yourself with something called history.
Wow. I didn't know that. You're telling me now for the first time.
Yeah, mate, I'm a historian. This is just like Germany in the 1930s. History's repeating itself. I'm a very smart historian. When I said we were returning to everything 2016, I wasn't joking. In Belgium, Prime Minister Alexander De Croo literally started blubbering after finding out his party got just 5.8% of the vote. He then promptly resigned. Bye. While the populist Vlaams Belang Party and the New Finnish Alliance gained massive ground. At a certain point, I'm afraid we're just going to have to admit it. A surprisingly large proportion of Europeans are actually quite racist. Yeah, mate, just keep calling them racist. I'm sure that'll work. In Germany, the political establishment lowered the voting age to 16, thinking it would obliterate the right-wing vote. Well, that didn't go to plan, did it? The AfD came equal first place with the CDU in the youth vote of people aged under 24. Overall, performing beyond their expectations, coming second and registering their best ever result. Zoomers rise up.
Young voters turning right and leaving the Green Party.
Oh no, the Greens are losing.
European Greens lost nearly all the gains they made in the last elections just 5 years ago.
Oh no! Anyway.
Who's going to make all our energy bills completely unaffordable? Banners from driving petrol cars and slap a huge tax on our meat consumption now?
Devastating.
It's a question I've heard so many times before. Paul, you're nearly pushing middle age. Alright, rude. How come you look 10 years younger than you are? Only 10? Well, it's not rocket science. It's called regularly moisturising your face and having a good skincare routine. That's why I'm excited to have Tiege Hanley as the sponsor of today's video. They help men start and maintain a skincare routine by simplifying the entire process. I recommend you start with their Level 1 system, which comes with all the basics. A daily face wash to get rid of all the dirt and grime on your skin. A 2 times a week exfoliating scrub to get rid of all the dead skin cells. An AM moisturiser with SPF 20, because you should always be protecting your skin from the sun, and a PM moisturiser to help your skin stay hydrated and healthy throughout the night. Their products have made my skin look and feel healthier than ever. But you don't have to just take my word for it. They've got over 7,000 5-star reviews on their website from satisfied customers around the world. And because Tiege is sponsoring this video, they're offering you an amazing deal. Just click the link in the description to get 30% off your first skincare system and a free gift. Plus, as a member, you'll also get 20% off for life. wife. By the way, both gifts you're choosing from are $20 value and are complete game changers. A silicone body scrubber or a nail and face grooming kit. They've pouched it up all nice as well. Personally, I prefer the silicone body scrubber because it just feels so soft and silky on the skin. Ooh, not gonna lie, that does feel nice. So don't wait any longer. Click the link in the description box down below to start your skincare journey today. In Austria, the Freedom Party scored its first ever election victory, gaining nearly 26% of the vote. This off the back of a campaign firmly rejecting net zero insanity, mass migration and alphabet people indoctrination. The establishment was shaken to the core, bemoaning once again that democracy was under dire threat because people democratically voted for candidates they don't like. Oh yes, the biggest threat to democracy. Checks notes. Elections.
The rise of nationalists and demagogues is a danger for our nation.
What's happening in the European elections should terrify us all. The morally supreme last guardians of democracy, terrified by a democratic vote. No! When around a third of the continent is voting for parties labelled far right, and 70% of Europeans think their country takes in too many immigrants, at what point do they acknowledge they're not far right? They're just right. It's not 2014 anymore, is it? The EU is basically now more right-wing than the UK. That's got Ramona's hopping mad. British libtards. We can escape fascists like Rishi Sunak by rejoining the EU. The EU. Maybe we should rejoin after all. Oh yeah, and apparently anyone who wants France to remain French, Sweden to remain Swedish, and Germany to remain German, anyone who doesn't want their cities and suburbs filled with tower blocks full of infinity Bamalians is basically an extremist incel. We were all warned about the rise of the far right and incels. The attack on woke feeds into this dangerous rhetoric. The surge in support for the far right across Europe is a warning for us all. Right, because all those farmers in their 50s and 60s, having their farms shut down and their livelihoods destroyed, taxed into oblivion by climate change bureaucracy. Turns out they're all just incels stewing with resentment in their mum's basements. In yesterday's European elections, I suffered a crushing personal defeat, along with my comrades in Greece and Germany. Oh no, the Greek communists suffered a crushing personal defeat. This is terrible news. Meanwhile, in the UK, polls suggest Farage's Reform Party could end up getting a higher vote share than the Tories. It really is time for Conservative candidates to stand down and step aside for the real opposition to Labour.
Look, if Rishi does resign, I would have thought that they would probably end up with a score rather like they did in the European elections in May 2019, hovering around about 8% with 0 seats, 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 with 0 seats. The whole game is changing. This old tired mantra that a vote for this party or that party helps the other side. The real question here is who is going to provide a voice of opposition in Parliament and in the country to a Starmer government. The Conservatives had their chance, they've blown it.
White men, elections, reform. Alright, who's got the clip?
I just got this feeling, man, that this summer is, it's about to be a white boy summer.
If you value what I do and you want to help support me, please visit pauljosephwatson.locals.com and either pledge a one-time donation or subscribe to join my community, get early access videos, and message me directly. And exclusive live streams coming soon too. Promise. Check out the Locals link down in the description. And don't forget to take a look at the brand new website modernity.news. That's where you'll find all my content, including exclusive articles. That's modernity.news.